All right. So the big changes coming in Facebook right now is Facebook wants congruency. If you're trying to compete and you're trying to talk about trademark products or registered products and you're trying to promote them as an affiliate, you're going to have a hard time doing that on Facebook. 2015, Facebook is swinging the pendulum. So you really are going to need to get the advertiser or the vendor, it's interchangeable term, you're going to need to get their permission if they have their products registered or their services trademarked. So that's something that you need to be aware of if you're from an affiliate standpoint. Now, if you're a product owner and you want to put this into your funnel, as in your back ends for some extra income streams, the same thing would apply to you, because the last thing that you want to do as a product owner is get sued. And the last thing you want to do as an affiliate is get sued as well. So be really careful with the products and services that you're going to promote. Make sure if they're trademarked or they're registered. As you see here, that's why I got the big boot here. Make sure everything is on the up and up and you got the permission to market the way you want to market. Otherwise, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So you always want to be professional. So the next question is, what does FB want? Well, they want congruency. So basically that means everything that you do from start to end, the way you design your ad, the way you design your ad copy, the way you do your targeting, the way you set up your funnel, the way you do your back end, because Facebook is going to check from start to finish. They're going to walk through your whole entire funnel, whether you like it or not and whether you know it or not. And if they see some type of stuff that's not congruent, that's when you're going to get a red flag on your account, and you're going to get the old email there saying something along the lines of, you know, we detected some suspicious activity going in your account, or your account has been flagged for this or that. So you have to be really congruent with your whole entire funnel. So if you were promoting, and I'm just going to throw this out there, if you're promoting a golf product, well, you better make sure that your ad is talking about golf, your ad copy is about golf, your image is something to do with golf or related similar to golf. Your funnel, when they land on your Facebook fan page, is about golf, or your lead gen page is about golf, and your sales letter or your VSL is about golf. So somewhere in the funnel, if you start promoting golf and then you're switching off and trying to promote skincare, you're going to get slapped. So that's basically what Facebook is looking for. Everything has to be congruent. Now, next thing I'm going to show you is what I teach my students is I teach my students how to do aggressive ad spends. I teach them how to do consistent ad spends. So there's probably quite a few people on the call that that are tapped out. They probably can't push more than $5,000 a day on their account or $500 a day on their account. So it's called the law of progression. When you're doing advertising and you're scaling out your campaigns, you need to scale out your campaigns in a consistent manner, and it has to be in a progressive manner. So i.e., if you have a $50 a day ad spend and then you try to bump it up to $500 a day, you're going to get slapped. Facebook's going to look at you and they're going to say, why is this person trying to go from a $50 a day spend to a $500 a day spend, and their targeting is garbage, they don't know their audience, and they're just swinging all these ridiculous ads around. You're going to get, something's going to happen to your account, so don't do that. So if you have a $50 a day spend, what you want to do is progressively raise your ad spend from $50 to $150 to $250 to $500 to $750 to $1,000 in a progressive pace. So that means that you're going to be opening up your targeting as well and your audience. So you shouldn't start your audience off at, if you're doing a $50 spend and you're trying to reach 1 million people, that doesn't jive with Facebook. You're going to get your account slapped. You're going to get some problems with your account. What that means is if you got a $50 a day spend, you should be going from $50 a day, targeting roughly around 150 to 200,000 people, then going up through, then leading up the chain. So if you're doing a $500 a day spend, then you should be hitting anywhere from 750 to maybe 1 million people, and that still is a big type of an audience. So you have to be able to make sure you warm your accounts up slowly and you warm your ad spend up slowly. So what this is here is, this is one of my students here, Mike Nelson. Mike has gone on now. He started with the law of progression of what I teach, warming up your campaigns, warming up your ad spend, and doing it on a progressive level. So recently, this is actually a couple months ago, Facebook actually sent him an email and said, we'd like to give you a $150,000 ad spend. Now, I've had this since literally 2013. I'm way past that now. But don't get me wrong, there are other bigger fish out in the sea. I know guys in the UK, they've got a $250,000 a day ad spend. So it's monster ad spends. And these are just affiliate type guys. So, but Mike has went on to do the law of progression. He's consistently warmed up his accounts. He's consistently warmed up his campaigns and his ad spend, and he's gradually went from, 0 to 50 to 100, to 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 to the point where he is at right now, because this is what I teach. So, and then you see here he actually got approved, and now he's being invoiced $150,000. So the question is, just because Facebook gives you a $150,000 a day ad spend or $150,000 line of credit doesn't mean you should use the whole entire line of credit. That's absolutely marketing suicide. Like, you better understand your marketing, you better understand your marketing funnels, you better have your targeting dialed in, your audience dialed in, everything. So again, it's the law of progression. You got to work your way up to it. So this is kind of what I teach. Now the next thing that I wanted to show you is, people are always asking me, so what do I do every day and how do I make all this money pushing buttons? And yes, I'm at the beach right now. I'm actually in Aruba. I just landed here a couple of hours ago. It's been a long flight. So this is kind of I have an internet marketing lifestyle. And my lifestyle is traveling around the world and running my business. My business is literally now pretty much 98% automated and outsourced. I have 80 employees and 5 project managers. I'm actually going to be scaling that down because I want to bring in A players now, and I want to incentivize them and empower them to run my business while I take a big giant step back. So a little bit of content that I want to share with you guys is, if you're at the point where you're just trying to do some team building, let me save you a world of hurt. The first thing that you want to do is you want to go out and find people that are smarter than you, that are more aggressive than you, and that understand the business model that you're trying to implement, and you want to be able to give them, you want to be able to incentivize them, you want to be able to empower them, you want to be able to make them make the decisions to help you grow your business. Take a big giant step back and give them a lot of equity in your business. Give them a lot of money. Because if you do that, you'll see that your business will scale faster than you could ever scale it yourself. So that's just a little bit of content. I hope I can help somebody out. If one person can listen to that, and if they're at that point now where they're going to do a little bit of team building, especially when you're running paid traffic, this is absolutely crucial. You cannot run paid traffic by yourself to 6 figures a day. It's not going to happen. You will put a gun to your head, and you'll pull the trigger, because you'll just be absolutely swamped. Literally every day, it's like hundreds to thousands of campaigns to get to this point where you're running, almost literally 7 figures a day in ad spend. It's just ridiculous. So you will not be able to do it yourself. You need to be able to build a team. Also, when it comes to paid traffic with Facebook, you better be aware that you can only put so many campaigns inside of your account before you have to start deleting old campaigns. You can max out your account very quickly if you're doing high 5 figures, high 6-figure campaign type offers. And so you want to be able to make sure that you take care of your account. So I just wanted to let you, that's just a little bit of more content to help you guys out. I'm going to take a quick glass of water here because it's pretty dry out here in Aruba. Alex or Andrew, if you want to step in for a quick second and just kind of talk about the team building aspect, because I know, Becker, you're there right now where you're outsourcing everything, and you're at the point right now where you should be. So if you guys could take a quick second here, I'm just going to take a quick glass of water and I'll get right back.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the really biggest things. And for everybody here, we want to talk about really the higher level things to the points where you can make $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a month, and so on and so forth. And specifically with SourceWave right now, it gets to the point with your business that doing the task yourself and doing the things, it isn't even to the point where you want to save time so you don't have to work. It's just there's a better person who can do something better than you at everything. For example, if you look at like Source University, I have people that are really passionate about coaching, really passionate about teaching SEO, doing SEO every day while I'm like building businesses and stuff like that. So I have, those people right there. When it comes to my advertising and so forth, like Facebook, YouTube, all other places that we're building advertising campaigns and stuff like that, bringing in hundreds and hundreds of leads a day right now that are, it's doing very, very well. I'll just leave it at that. I can go and find an ad team. I can go and find other people that are better than me at certain things. And at a point, what your skill set really becomes is building a team of people around you that are going to be able to go out there and do these things better than you, because the stuff in my business, there's so many tasks to do, there's so many other things that people are better at me at. Then my whole job is motivating them, keeping them encouraged, keeping morale high, and making sure they have the business model to follow and then allowing them to do that. You're going to hit a certain point with your business no matter where you're at, where it's either going to plateau and then eventually collapse, because anybody who's running a one-man business for any extended period of time think that's going to last forever. It's just not, because you can't grow your skill sets enough to keep up with the changing times when you get to a certain level. So very, very powerful stuff right there, especially when you want to get into paid advertising as well, as you're scaling and scaling up farther and farther. So just keep that in mind before you get into anything else. I think, Andrew, if you're still there.
Yeah, I'm here. And this is one of the most important things, guys, where when you're getting to that level is when you're actually trying to train staff. What happens with me, Alex, is I actually get people who are now working for me saying, oh, can I do anything? And your natural inclination is, maybe it's the control freak of being an entrepreneur, but you're like, oh, I'll take care of it. But you need to step back and say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this. Because once you show them how to do it, and if they are equipped to do the task at hand, not only are they going to do the job, they'll actually do the job better. I mean, I got some people writing emails for our fitness company, and the guy doing it was actually, he ended up writing better emails than me because he had more time and was more motivated to spend time in that.
Yeah, no, that's the big thing, because all people that run my advertising, but they focus on advertising all day long. I have my developers developing software because they focus on development all day long. And my job is to create the game plan that gets all the people in and gets things going, just like you. I mean, you don't have the time to sometimes write the copy. You don't have the time to do that kind of stuff because there's people that focus on that all day long, and so they're the better cog for that type of task. So a lot of stuff that Peter's talking about, I think, Peter, are you back? Or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just our thoughts on that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, guys, for stepping in there and helping me out there. So the bottom line is, a lot of people are wondering, what is the system? How does the system work? How do I get to scale my paid traffic business up to those big numbers? First of all, it's going to take you a while to get up to these big numbers. So I want to take a big, giant step back and really give you the solid foundation, the solid basics around how paid traffic actually works. So it's really, and I'm a very simple guy when it comes to this kind of stuff, because there's no sense getting complex and complicated about this kind of stuff to make yourself seem smarter or look smarter, because at the end of the day, people that are a little bit smarter can sniff that out, so they just automatically know. So let's just break it down into really what are the pillars to driving, massive traffic, not just on Facebook, but on Google Display Network, paid traffic through other top-tier networks. It boils down to three little core things that are going to help you out. One of the things is traffic. Now, traffic, you've got to have traffic, and I'm not saying you got to have a whole big amount of traffic. What you got to have is you got to have the right targeted, pre-framed, pre-qualified type of traffic. If you can get that right to your opt-in page, where you have a special report, you have a strategy guide, you have a free VSL where you give away 2 or 3 little quick little tips, like a powered golf swing for women, and this is what happens. This is where you'll get your conversion, which is the part of traffic. And then what happens there is you've got this lead. Now you cultivate this lead, and you take care of this lead. You give this lead content. You survey this lead. What happens with that? What happens with that lead, which is when you're building your list here, is you're going to turn and you're going to get buckets of cash. This is literally the way it works. So let me kind of show you. Let me drill down here and kind of show you how it works. The first thing is traffic. Now, for me personally, there's going to be a lot of people maybe on the call that desktop may work better for them, or mobile may work better, or right-hand side ads may work better. For me, basically right now, I'm at the point now where a lot of my traffic on Facebook is mobile traffic. Mobile traffic for me is where it's at. It's people are on their mobile devices every single day. People are buying from their mobile devices every single day. When somebody sits there and tells me that people aren't buying on their mobile device, I have to call them BS, because people are actually buying in droves on their mobile devices. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to talk to you about this kind of stuff, and then I'm going to take a little step back, and you guys will let me know whether or not you would click on a type of ad like this, and you let me know why this ad is so click-worthy. So this is the first part of it. It's all traffic, and it's mobile traffic. Because again, like I said, mobile traffic is really, it's where it's at. Yes, I still do a little bit of desktop traffic. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I don't do desktop traffic, but mobile traffic for me is more lucrative. It's more responsive, and that's where I'm at. So I'm of the path of least resistance. I would not want to bang my head against a brick wall trying to throw traffic at a right-hand side and it's not converting, or desktop is not converting. If it's converting on mobile, I'm going to immediately kill all my ads that are on desktop and that are on right side and not working, and I'm going to run mobile. I mean, that's just common sense, but I see it day in and day out that people, they still want to beat their head against a brick wall, and they're like, well, why isn't right-hand side converting? Why isn't desktop converting? Like, I got to get it to convert. No, you don't have to get it to convert. If it's not converting, it's not converting. Look, you can only throw so much advertising spend at something, and before you say to yourself, where's my advertising spend gone? So think about it from that type of an approach. So this is a type of a ad on mobile that works really well. For those of you that think you might know how it works and why it works really well, just type in the chat box really quickly as to what kind of elements you see here that would make you click, or why you think the reader would click. So I'll give you a couple quick seconds. Type in the chat box. And Becker or Al or Andrew, if you could let me know what people are saying, that'd be awesome.
I usually click ads like this twice a day. You know, I got to find out Jen's secret, honestly. Anything Jennifer's doing. But no, I actually do click a lot of ads, you know, like this a whole lot. Not maybe this one too. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and, you know. Someone said clickbait image. Someone said awesome pic. Someone said great image, good copy. Someone said, oh, I can't read that out loud, but it made me laugh. Wanting to be like a celebrity intrigue. I could throw out the answer, but I won't. But I think a lot of these are kind of almost off the mark, Peter. I think what you're going to show people next right here is really going to change how they look at. I kind of can tell because I've been through DNA and I've watched your stuff and so forth. But a lot of people here are just basically focusing on the ad, the copy, and the picture. What would you say?
Well, that's what everybody kind of focuses on. The bottom line is you need to focus on the intent of the traffic. You need to be able to pre-frame and pre-qualify your traffic, and that's why it's going to go into stage 2, which is clicking on and going through to either your lead gen page or your /blog, and they're going to take further action because they want to get engaged with your content. That's really the mark that I'm trying to hit home with today with everybody, is your content must be compelling and it must be engaging. It must provide some type of value for the end user to go through. This is what Facebook wants to see.
Yeah, so, Peter, so another thing that I obviously noticed in the ad is, this is something, guys, to draw your attention to. A real simple detail is, if you can see in the text of the ad, it goes, the question was finally asked and answered, but and then you say the question all of Canada has been asking for years. So, Peter, I'm obviously assuming here you're just targeting Canada. You're using Canada there as a very specific country.
Yes, and there's a couple other things too as well.
Yeah, I think one thing too.
You guys are all on the right track.
What's really cool about it, and one thing I always say with a lot of my ads, is you want the ad, when the person clicks the ad, like you're saying right here, when they click the ad, it already says what they're thinking, what they want to do. A lot of people really focus on the image and great copy, but the image and great copy don't really correlate to what's on the other side of the ad, and it really doesn't correlate to the type of person that's either going to opt in or buy this kind of thing. And so people get focused too much on click-through rates and CPC and images and ad copy instead of really setting up an ad that pre-frames a person. For example, all my ads at SourceWave, it's not as methodical as this, but it's very simple. What they see in the ad is strictly what they're going to see on the other side of it. When a person goes and clicks on my ad for a free trial, they know I have an ad or a page strictly for a free trial. So I know when that person clicks the ad, they're looking for a free trial, and that's how I get really high conversions using just very simple marketing because the person already tells me what they're looking for when they click the ad, and I give them exactly what they're looking for. It's very direct, and I'll let you keep going into it, Peter.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly it. Like you hit the nail right on the head. So that's pretty much what I want to get into. Now, the bottom line for that is when you do stuff like that, this is the kind of actions, this is the kind of clicks, this is the kind of campaigns that I'm talking about. So don't necessarily worry about getting penny clicks or sub-penny clicks or not paying for clicks. Like all that stuff is all, you know what I mean? It's okay. It's great metrics, it's great on paper and everything, but the bottom line is, you know, you want to be able to make sure these people convert. You want to be able to make sure that when you send them, when this click is happening, where are you sending? You're sending it deeper into the funnel. So this is kind of where they're going at the next stage of the funnel, because this is kind of congruent. So this is where you kind of send them. You send them to an opt-in page with a free bribe. Now, the free bribe can be anything that you want the free bribe to be. So this is where you have to, as a marketer, put your thinking cap on and think, well, what really kind of value can I give to somebody after they've clicked on my ad? I want to be able to capture them. So how deeper can I get them into the process? Well, this is what you do. Now, maybe some of you or a whole lot of you might have seen these type of pages, and you might think they're called flogs, or they might think they're called farticles, or whatever it is. That was back in the day. How these things actually convert and how they convert really well is you've got to be able to make sure. You look at the big number 1 here, you'll see here that it's liked. It's got a fan page. You'll see there like over 1,000 people, 1,400 people like this particular page. You look at the number 2 right here, you're going to see that all these social images, all these social links, they all lead somewhere. Back in the day when you're doing CPA, not even so much back in the day, but you know, like maybe even some guys are still doing it to this day. If you were to see these type of pages and you click on these social images, they may just go right directly to the CPA offer. That's just a lazy affiliate, or that's just a lazy product owner. What you want to do is, well, what my team does and what I teach my students to do in DNA Wealth Blueprint is all these social images here, they actually lead to social profiles that are built out and they have content on them, because Facebook is going to look at your funnel. When you're trying to run something on Google Display Network, they're going to look at your funnel as well. They're really hardcore, so you have to understand something, that you have to build out content. Your pages, your links have to lead somewhere. And when they lead somewhere, it has to make sense. It has to continue on within the funnel, or continue on to be congruent, because that's what the traffic gods are looking for. So when you do something like this, then the list, the people that you're capturing and the people that you're nurturing, because you're providing them content, you put them into your automation sequence, or your email sequence, or your video email sequence, whatever sequence you want to set up. What happens is eventually with the content that you build with them, what happens eventually is they're going to turn into this. They're going to turn, the leads are going to turn into sales. This is what I teach my students in DNA Wealth Blueprint. So this is the screenshot taken back from last year, December. These are all orders. Like if you look at my funnel here, it's obviously I'm selling some stuff. I'm selling Garcinia Cambogia. So you know these people are getting they're getting their supplements. So that's that's the list. This list is a very valuable asset for me, because go ahead, Andrew.
Peter, could I just jump in, because sometimes I think when you're showing people stuff, these orders, I mean, give you an idea here, guys. This is total approved orders. That's about 3,967. Is that correct, Peter?
Yeah, let me blow that up there for you.
Yeah, and what kind of CPA commission?
This one here is around $45.
Okay, so $45 times 4,000 is like 170 grand or something.
Yeah, it's a nice size. It's a nice size chunk of change.
Okay, and literally, guys, that's just one campaign, and I'm just looking at your stat dates. So that's from, yeah, I can see it now, 20th of November to 9th of December. So yeah,
December.
that's in about 14, 21 days or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, so if you kind of work out the metrics, and bear in mind, this is just one offer Peter's running. So when you kind of scale that across many offers, that's where you get the hundreds of thousands of dollars per day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things that people want to know, well, how do you scale? Well, this is how you scale. You don't just scale right away. You have to look at an offer. You have to vet the offer out. You have to talk to the advertiser. You have to figure out what the super affiliates are doing and why they're doing it. You have to do your competitive intelligence. Once you've done your competitive intelligence, then it's time for you to build out your own media. Then from there, you build out your own funnel, really tight, really small, to do some quick market testing. Once you see conversions, then you say to yourself, I need to start to optimize my whole entire funnel. When you optimize your whole entire funnel, then you scale and you get to this point. And literally, yes, it can take a matter of weeks to do this. So we've got students in DNA Wealth Blueprint that have done this. They've started out small, and all of a sudden now they're doing $80,000 a week. And they've done that literally in less than 30 days. So, but that's the exception to the rule. Listen, I got to take a big giant step back here because if I'm gonna start throwing around all this money stuff and people are gonna start getting the wrong idea, I got to put this disclaimer up here because I got to protect myself. I got to protect my business partner with Andrew Fox. I got to protect Alex Becker. I got to protect our brand. So at the end of the day, I'm not sure whether or not you'll make a red cent using DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0. Because I don't know you. I don't know if you got the tenacity to get out of your bed in the morning. I don't know if you're sitting on the couch eating bonbons and watching Oprah. I don't know what's going on. So I can't sit here and tell you that you're going to do hundreds of thousands of dollars a day or tens of thousands of dollars a day. Only you know. So I have to say this with a big caveat. You are the CEO of your business. You are 100% self-accountable for your own actions. With paid advertising, there comes huge, massive paid risk. There's risk in advertising, so understand that. So with that being said, I'm going to scoot back to my slide here. So I thought I had to throw that in there just in case. So if someone doesn't come back to me and say, well, you didn't tell me, I could lose money with paid advertising. Well, it's possible. Becker, tell people. You're doing paid advertising. Tell them, just be honest with them and let them know if there's any type of a risk with paid advertising.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's two parts to it, period. First off, there is a risk. When I went out there, I've probably spent, not this point, but I've spent a lot of money learning paid advertising. You gotta go out there to figure it out in the first place. With that being said, a lot of people think when I talk about paid advertising, I'm spending like $1,000, $2,000 a day. They think I start up a campaign and run it past $100, and if it's not converting, if it's not working, if I'm not seeing any good signs, I just keep letting it run. With paid advertising, you're going to have to start spending money to get data. Whenever I'm kicking off a campaign, whenever I'm getting anything going, I have to spend some money first to get my numbers back to me. It's important. And if you go out there and you're irresponsible with your paid advertising, you're going to get your butt handed to you. You can get your butt handed to you. So you really have to be able to go out there and analyze, look at your numbers, and make educated buys with your paid advertising and be able to look at your numbers and be able to tell when you're getting results, when you're not getting results. So just what Peter just said, there is a risk with paid advertising. It is your job to be able to go out there and learn how to mitigate those risks and hit the spot. Right now, it's very hard for me to go out there and tank a campaign and lose tons of money because after $50, I know if it's going to work. I know if I'm getting conversions. I know if I'm getting clicks that are working or not. Just keep all that in mind, though, guys. Just keep that in mind.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much. So let's continue on here because people are always wondering, well, how do I set up my campaigns properly? What do I need to do? What is the structure? What does it look like? So this is taken right out from the horse's mouth itself. This is how it's set up if you want to run clicks to website, which is pretty much a lot of the stuff that I do right now, and I do optimize cost per impression. So let me give you some good, solid, rock solid content right now. If you want to start out a campaign, you should always start out a campaign cost per click. Now, this is what I do. Maybe some people might do it differently. They may start out optimized cost per impression or cost per impression, but I want you to type into the chat box really quickly, what's the difference between cost per click, cost per impression, optimized cost per impression, optimized cost per click? You guys tell me, on a whole, where would you start a campaign? Just type in the chat box really quickly, and let's take a few answers here, and then I'll kind of hopefully straighten everybody out. Andrew or Becker, let me know what people are saying.
A lot of people saying cost per click. I mean, that's where I usually start at as well. I prefer that just so I can get the traffic in and get the numbers going, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No, you could be right, my friend.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the methodology. So I'll explain it to people from my point of view, my level, and what I teach my students and my clients. You run cost per click first because you want to be able to make sure people are clicking on your ads. If people are not clicking on your ads, how will you ever know if your ad is working, first of all? Second, you definitely want to be able to dial in your metrics when you're doing cost per click. There's no sense you going cost per impression or optimized cost per impression, because that's just a waste of advertising dollars. First of all, if you ever want to start a campaign doing optimized cost per impression, well, what is there to optimize? You haven't ran any data. And the second thing is, it takes Facebook roughly around 36 hours to actually optimize your whole entire campaign. So if you're running cost per impression, but you've got no data, you've got no intel, Facebook's going to have a hard time, optimizing anything for you. So in a nutshell, you run cost per click first. You want to make sure people are clicking on your ads. That's the first sign that, okay, something's working in your ad. What's working? Is it the image? Is it the copy? Is it the intent? Am I pre-qualifying? Am I pre-framing? Then from there, if you want to run cost per impression, then sure, you can switch it over to cost per impression, but usually I don't do that because it doesn't actually make sense to run from cost per click to cost per impression. For what I usually do is go cost per click, I look at what's going on, I run my campaign, then I switch it over to optimize cost per impression, because then I say to myself, everything's getting dialed in from this point onwards. Okay, I want to let Facebook now show me what's going on. I want to let Facebook dial in my stuff for me, dial in my data for me, so I can start to scale everything. So that's kind of the mindset behind how you should start your campaigns. Now, is this a hard and fast set rule? Absolutely 100% not. This is just what works for myself. This is what works for literally over 220 of our students now. So it works for all of my clients. And by the way, I don't take on any clients anymore. I've stopped. I have an agency account. I used to run all sorts of clients, all sorts of big gurus. I don't do it anymore. I do my own thing. The last thing I want to be doing is building somebody else's business. It doesn't make sense when I can just exponentially blow up my business. So for those of you that got advertising accounts, or those of you that are looking to get clients and do that kind of stuff, nothing wrong with it. You just have to look at yourself at the end of the day and say, you know what I mean, is it worth your while? So, you know what I mean? So getting back to my point here is this is how you want to set your structure.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm the exact same way.
Chime in.
Yeah, that's why exactly I got away from client stuff and so forth, because when you're sending someone else a business, you're making them exponentially more than they're paying you. And it's like, yeah, I don't really know about that. But yeah, guys, this is almost the exact same thing I did. I learned a lot of this from Peter in the first place, but this is where you want to start. And this is the stuff that's been laid out right here is the blueprint that I follow almost every. It's like the stuff I did today is exactly how I started all my campaigns to get you to this webinar in the first place. It's really funny because I don't have the biggest marketing list. I don't have the biggest list of internet marketers. I was able to get, I believe, a little bit over 1,000 people signed up for this webinar with a very small list and just Facebook ads. Very cheaply spent too, using this kind of technique and blueprint and so forth, just for my fan page and stuff. So cool stuff.
It works, man. If you apply the methodologies and the strategies that I teach you inside of the course, you will see results. Now, if you ask me, well, Peter, what happens if I do Z, W, and X? I'll say to you, well, did you do X, Y, and Z first before you did W, X, and L, and P? If you say, well, no, I didn't, I veered off the path, then I'm going to say, well, there's your problem. Here's the formula. here's the methodology, here's the foundation, here's how it works. If you follow it, you will get results. If you veer off on your own and do your own thing, hey, I don't have a problem with that. Just don't come back to me and say, well, I tried at 50% and 50% didn't work. Okay, well, did you do 100%? No? Okay, well, that's your problem. So I just want to throw that out there. So just to anyone thinking differently, it's okay to test on your own dime, but test on your own dime. If you become a member of DNA Wealth Blueprint, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to bend over backwards, I'm going to kick you in the ass, excuse my French, to make sure I get you successful. You meet me halfway, I'll take you to the other side. That's my philosophy. But, you know, meet me at least halfway. So this is how everything's set up. So again, like I said, I'm going to just, so let's take a step back here. You do one thing at a time. You test one variable at a time until you get so razor sharp good that you can do multivariate split testing. You can scale out campaigns quickly. But for you to get the methodology correctly, you need to be able to test one element at a time. So if you see here, number one, I'm down here with my target interest. This is where everybody, you know, screws up. To this day, I still see people going on ads, creating ads, and they've got like 10 different interest groups inside of their ads. And I'm like, why are you doing that? First of all, when Facebook looks at this, they say, well, this person doesn't know their targeting. This person doesn't know their market. They don't know their demographic, but they want us to figure it out for them. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just spend their ad spend as quickly as we possibly can, burn through all their ad spend so that we can try to figure everything out for them. So obviously they don't care about their money. This is what Facebook looks. That's the algorithm. So if you want to test something, you test something with one interest inside of your ad set. So again, my example is golf swing or power golf swing. Now sometimes I'll do 2 interests, sometimes I'll do 1. But basically that's it. You don't want to do more than that because, you know, you're not going to go golf swing, power golf swing, women golfers, kid golfers, putting, driving. You don't do that because that's a whole different type of demographic right there. So you need to be able to target and you need to be able to laser down. Now, that being said, instead of taking the shotgun approach, you want to be a little bit of a sniper because this is where you're going to get really good ROI when you're a little bit of a sniper. And when you get your data coming in, when you get your intel and you be able to analyze your intel, then you can kind of open it up to the marketplace. But by then, you're already got good campaigns built out. They're all warmed up. You're doing really good ad spend. So then you can start saying to yourself, I'm going to start putting 2 interests inside of this, or 3 interests. I wouldn't go any more than 3. Like literally 2 is the magic button. So that's kind of how you build out a campaign. You test one thing at a time. Okay. So this right here, I'll leave this on the screen so that you can take a snapshot of it or record it or whatever. This right here, one of our students just took this formula and Becker just talked to you about it too. This is literally, this works. If you do this the way it's laid out for you and you run your campaigns this way, you're going to see massive results. And that's literally, that's all that's said. So what I want to do is I want to introduce you to Andrew Fox and my product. It's called DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you content. I'm not going to pitch you. I'm not a pitch man. I don't care about your money. I'm going to give you some solid content what's inside of this course. And at the end of it, you make your decision as to whether or not you want to become a member of DNA Wealth Blueprint. But my philosophy is I'm a content provider. I give you content first. I give you compelling content. I give you proven content. Then from there, you basically say to yourself, is this for me? Yes. Is this not for me? Maybe not. No problem. No harm, no foul. The thing is don't look at this as being an affiliate-driven centric product because it's not. A lot of things have changed in this course. When Andrew and I developed this course, a lot of people thought it was, oh, just Facebook, oh, it's product launch. They never really sat back and put the two of them together. And this is something that kind of really made Andrew and I laugh for the longest time. And then we got a little bit frustrated because we literally laid out a blueprint for people to run pay traffic to their own products and services. Yeah. And all of a sudden, people just started clicking in. Go ahead.
Can I throw in one? Yeah, Peter, one thing I want to throw in. What Peter just laid out to you guys, you saw the one blueprint before, the really simple one where it just goes traffic, opt-in, list. That is exactly what I am doing with SourceWave. When I also kick off Market Hero here in a few months, that's exactly what I'm doing. And because The thing Andrew just showed you, where you go, you have that $100, you have that first ad, you have all that stuff. Once you understand the cores of that stuff and you understand how to get your numbers from the list itself, after a person opts in my business, I know exactly how much they're going to make me by the end of the month, the second month, and so forth with that. And just using these concepts that Andrew teaches right here, I'm able to scale. I grew my business by $100,000 reoccurring every single month. I was already doing very well before that, already doing $200,000 a month. I was literally able to add another $100,000 to my income just from these tactics right here. And I'm not even at the point where I'm scaling. I'm in the point where I'm taking in people. I'm taking in, hundreds of leads a day. I know Peter takes in thousands and thousands of leads a day. But once you apply that process, you have that core understanding of Facebook advertising. You can go out there and copy it over to YouTube. You can go over there and copy it over the AdWords if you so choose. But it's this understanding that Peter has, that he's explaining right here, that is so absolutely lethal and so 100% necessary in business. If you have a business you're trying to grow, and you don't understand the basic concept of how to start it, I start all my advertising on Facebook. If you don't understand that basic concept of how to get traffic to a page, how to collect them, how to get them on a list, and how to market to them and get an ROI, you're not going to make it in internet marketing except through, little product launches and maybe little tricks and stuff like that. It's just not the long-term way to go with this. So this stuff that he's showing right here is the exact process I'm using to grow SourceWave exponentially. In the past month, past 2 months, I haven't done a single launch. I haven't asked a single JV for traffic. I haven't asked anyone for anything. I've paid Facebook and Google, and primarily starting with Facebook, to send me this traffic, and I'm copying the exact same simple blueprint you're seeing right here. This is how I'm able to get so many customers. This is how I'm able to go out there and predictably scale my business. So don't just look at it as an affiliate thing. Look at it as anything. If you know how to get people to an opt-in to a list, convert them, and keep doing it over and over again predictably and find more traffic sources, and more so, stay within Facebook's terms, stay within what they're looking for, that's insanely important. I've had my account banned before because I was being a diddle-do, okay, and I'll just leave it at that. So if you understand those things, plus how to stay with what Facebook's looking for, you have such a huge edge in whatever. If you're a JV right now, this is going to give you the advantage you need to basically control all the other JVs by having all the traffic. If you're a person who wants to start your own software, your own brand, your own product, your own anything, this is going to give you the power to do it in whatever niche you want. If you're an affiliate right now and you want to drastically blow up your affiliate income, this is how you do it. And the last thing I'm going to say really quick is I know Peter's talking about, spending 7 figures in a spend a day, spending $100,000 a day in spend. But you look at the basic blueprint at the very beginning. It says $100. That's what you go and do. With my advertising, I put $50 down, test, see how the opt-ins are coming in. If the opt-ins are sucking, stop it. I can stop it at $20, fix the opt-in page. Spend another $10. Okay, the opt-in page is doing better. We improve a little bit more. Spend another $10. Boom, I'm converting at 60%. Boom, I'm tracking the leads coming in. Boom, I'm tracking and predictably printing money. I'm not going to, what Peter said before, we're not offering anybody here a magic press button money printing machine. This is hard work, but it is the closest thing I've ever found to being able to say, I want my business to do this, and being able to make it do that. So I kind of went off on a tangent, but that's what I wanted to explain really quickly to anybody here who's thinking, oh, this is affiliate things. If you have a business, you have to know this. You have to, the end. So that's kind of my stance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, I'm just going to reiterate a little bit what Alex talked about as well. Like, literally at the bottom line is if you're online and you're trying to start your business or you have a business, like if you don't understand paid traffic to get paid traffic to your business, you're dead in the water, because you're going to be at the mercy of JVs. You're going to be at the mercy of affiliates. You're going to be at the mercy of a lot of other people.
Yeah, like Peter, like Ryan Deiss, like he's dominating the internet marketing world right now. And the reason why he's able to do this is because he's really the only internet marketer I know that can control his traffic sources and bring so many leads in and bring so much business in and then track how much it's making him. No other internet marketers are out there really doing it like he is. And the ones I know, like Eben Pagan and so forth, man, he grew that Double Your Dating business to $1 million a month, sold it for X amount of dollars. So that's how you see internet marketers go from little JV-controlled launches, very dependent on what everybody else is doing, to just becoming their own self-controlled machine, kind of like Ryan is at this point in time. That's where I'm really trying to head as well with these type of teachings and techniques.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. It's funny you mentioned Ryan, because those digital marketers is all over the internet. Like they're everywhere. They're doing massive retargeting. They're just like hammering.
And it's the same. It's the same process right here. Traffic source, opt in with a free bribe or whatever. There are 10 different bribes they have. List. And then there's retargeting and stuff worked in there as well, but it's the same exact concept. And if you don't have that concept, you can't compete. If you don't know this in any business, there's going to be a Ryan Deiss in any business you get into. There's going to be a SourceWave right now. We're making it the digital marketer of SEO. There's going to be someone like me, Ryan, Peter, in any niche you get into. And the only way you can ever compete is if you can do this. If you can't control your traffic, if you can't make traffic profitable and pay traffic, you're going to have a very hard time breaking $2-3 million a year without being famous. Okay, you can make yourself famous like some marketers, or you can go out there and just master traffic and don't need anyone's permission. So I could go on and on and on. I think you can tell Peter. I could go on for like an hour, just
That's okay, man. That's all right. I love it. I love it. Gets the crowd still, gets them moving. So let me explain to you, I'm going to give you some content like I've said. Inside of Module 1 of DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0, I've broken down this process to the point of over 7 figures. I know exactly what type of daily budget you need to hit to get your target audience. I don't, and I'm going to swear, probably the first time, or sorry, the second time I'm going to swear in this webinar. I apologize for people that, that don't like swearing, but if you fuck this up, let me phrase, you can't fuck this up. Like, it's laid out for you in literally a gold platter. I think it's like a 40-minute module where I crunch the numbers down. I explain to you step by step what you need to do. Wherever you are in your particular ad spend, I show you exactly what type of ad spend that you need to go to get your particular target audience. This is the weapon. If you get this intel, you pretty much, it's game over for you. If you watch the video a couple different times and you get it, you start testing, nothing is going to stop you from targeting your market and getting your ad budget, hitting your daily ad spend, and hitting your entire marketplace when you want to hit them. Okay. Now, the essence of this module literally is, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of a critique on the first number 1 here, where I say you want to spread out your budget to 3 campaigns, 3 ad sets to 5 ads per set. You actually want to do 3 ads per set. This is a little tweak that I've just been doing over the last few months, and it's gotten to the point now where you don't really need 5 ads per set. You only need to go 3 ads per set. So the bottom line is, if you get nothing else from this webinar and you drop off the call right now, understand what I'm trying to tell you. The formula for you now is 3 campaigns, 3 ad sets, and 3 ads per set. That's it. That's all you need to know. And then from there, you go do your little dilly-dally testing, and you'll see amazing results. Now, the second thing to this is, if you try to go outside of your ad spend, like 3 to 5 times more your ad spend, remember what I talked about, where if you try to do a $50 a day spend and jack up to $500 a day, you're going to be considered a spammer in Facebook's eyes. And Facebook, they're going to be like, why is this person trying to hit their whole entire audience all in one shot? You look like a spammer to Facebook. So, and what happens then is Facebook's going to shut you down. Your ad is not going to get seen. At worst, your ad account's going to get flagged. So just take those 2 little modules right there, those 2 little juicy content tidbits, and you're going to be good to go. Okay. Now, the second part to this is, well, when do I run my ad? When do I run my Facebook ad? A lot of people, they don't know when to run their Facebook ad. Listen, this is over tons of ad spend. I finally figured this out. The best time for you to start your ad campaigns is first thing in the morning. Now, let me take a step back. If you create an ad campaign and it's whatever time it is, in mid-afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, and you want to fire up your campaign, don't do it. Pause the campaign. You should always, as soon as you click the submit button for your ad, you should always pause it, because you let Facebook review it, but you don't spend any money. When they review it and they approve it, then you want to wait till the following day. Then you want to turn your ad on, because that's where you're going to get the full day spend, the full day traffic from Facebook. Now, I'm going to take a pause right here. People, I'm going to ask you to type into the chat box, for those of you that are doing paid advertising, if you ever felt this before, have you ever created a campaign and started at mid-afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, and all of a sudden you look around, all of a sudden your whole entire ad spend's gone for the day? or they burned out $100. Type in the chat box if that's happened to you. Just say, hell yeah, that's happened to me. What the fuck? What the fuck happened? Alex, let me know, or Andrew, let me know.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of people. Hell yeah. I did that the other day.
There you go. So here's another little juicy piece of content for you. Pause your campaign once you create your campaign and you submit your campaign. Pause it. Start your campaign at the beginning of the next day. Now, when do you start it? Well, you want to start it anywhere from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. The sweet spot is literally around 8:30. That's when you want to get the maximum amount of your whole entire ad spend. Now, the next question is going to be, well, is that in my time zone or is that Facebook's time zone or whatever? That's your time zone where you're doing your targeting. Got it? Type in the chat box and let me know if you got it. Just say got it.
Okay, Peter, just to give them some clarity. So, for example, say you're based in the USA, but you're targeting the UK. Would you start the ad in the UK time zone because your ads are in, or would you start the ad in the USA time zone where you're living, or is it the place where you're targeting?
You start your ad where you're targeting.
Okay, cool, guys. And you started around just to be super clear, Peter. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You said, I think.
Yeah, anywhere from like 8 o'clock, quarter to 8, like 7:45, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 is good. It all depends on a couple different other variables as far as who you're targeting, where you're targeting. But usually in the morning, like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, that's when you want to start.
Perfect, perfect.
All right, let's go into Module 2 here. Module 2, I talk about native advertising. Native advertising rocks. I'm going to go through this. This in itself is literally a 45-minute or more plus module. Native advertising is you're selling your marketing piece and you're putting and embedding your marketing piece inside of some premium quality content. That's what native advertising boils down to. I'm not going to try to be all smarty pants on you and try and drag it out. If you understand direct response advertising and understand your direct response advertising offer and embed it in premium content, that's what native advertising looks like. That's what it looks like on your browser. That's what it looks like on your mobile device. This is a native advertising type of advertising on Facebook. Now, I'm going to let that pause for a second. You guys let me know why you think this works so well. Why you think it's a really good native advertising type of offer. So I'm going to take a quick swig of water again. Pause for about half a minute. You guys type in the chat box. What makes this native advertising work? Because it works like gangbusters. Go ahead. What are people saying, Becker or Andrew?
Let's see.
Okay.
Because it doesn't look like an ad. That's what I'll bring. Authority by association looks healthy. Let's see. There we go. Social proof. I think the best answer I saw out there is because it doesn't really look like an ad. I mean, when you get through the native advertising, like I'm sure you guys will see here in a second, it isn't really an ad. It's like it's like you come to one of my videos, and then at the end of the video, there's something extremely useful that you have to use to apply the content from the video. But yeah, that's what a lot of people are seeing, valuable content.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. So again, you need to pre-frame and pre-qualify your traffic when you're sending it to any type of ad on Facebook or anywhere on the internet. Pre-frame, pre-qualify the click. That's what you need to do. When you do that and you understand that you're pre-framing and pre-qualifying the click, then what happens is then you're going to engage the click, you're going to engage the end user in some really good high-quality content to make them think. So what happens then is they're going to follow your funnel. They're going to like it, they're going to share it, they're going to talk about it. You see here, and the copy is what really makes it pop out too. The copy is, if you learn to do really good direct response copy, like especially when you're doing paid advertising, you'll do very well. So what happens is, and remember what else I talked about, is congruency. Your funnel from start to end is very congruent. So when people land on this page, right, if people land on this advertisement right here, then they're going to go to this content-rich product landing page / hybrid blog. This is what I've coined, and this is what I've done for the last literally, it's been what, 2 years now, 3 years? So this is where they go. So if you look at this ad, look at why it works so well, this, the native advertising, then this is where they end up landing up, right? I'm carrying on the conversation because I'm talking about the fresh foods and the best way, the powerful article. You see that there, and then this is where they land. So I'm carrying on the conversation. So some of you are thinking, is this big green ad here, is that a CPA banner? No, I'm not doing that. That's what rookies do, okay? I'm carrying on the conversation here. So number one, how to get the best food, how to get the best fresh produce delivered to your door for pennies on the dollar, if not for free, right? If you look at my ad here, I'm carrying on the conversation right here from the end, right? So it carries it on. Number two, I get them to do step one. You need to be able to condition the click. You need to be able to condition your reader. So if you look down here, I put everything in steps. Step one, do this. Step two, do this. Here's my CPA offer. It's a psychological link, because you'll see here it says, please click here to see our top supplemental choice for better health. Now, this is a presuppositional phrase, but it's inside of my link. This is what makes it work so well, because I'm not screaming, click here to buy me now. I'm not screaming, click here now to buy. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm preconditioning my user, right? And then number four here, you look over here, or sorry, number three, this right here is, this is a CPA offer, I'm not going to lie, but what happens is when they click this big image right here, they go to another part of the blog where it's a big, huge article, and then the same process like this starts again. So they're getting more content, they're going deeper into the funnel, they're engaging. This is what FB loves. And number four right here, you see all these links here, they're high quality articles. Now, if you are going to be successful with Facebook, you need to build out a funnel that looks similar to this. You need to have a funnel. Your funnel needs to have a ad, it needs to pre-frame, and needs to pre-qualify the click, it needs to engage the click, it needs to provide some value. The click comes here into the blog, an article, you're giving them more again, you're entrenching them now, you're developing a relationship with them, you're pre-selling them, because we are all direct response marketers, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that's what happens. That's the funnel, okay? Now, I'm going to take a quick second here. Actually, no, I'm just going to go through it here because this is what happens. When you do stuff like this, this is what happens. This is the reason why I say, desktop, mobile, I love to run stuff like this. This is what happens when you're doing native advertising and you're doing it on mobile. Remember what I said at the beginning of the call, mobile, right? Now, you want to run desktop? Run desktop. If you're finding desktop is running great for you, then run desktop. Hey, I could care less. At the end of the day, you are the CEO of your own business. You're running your own business, so you do whatever you feel is the right thing to do. But this is scale. This is what I do. This is what works for me, and this is what works for my students. Now, if you want to look at native advertising platforms and running through mobile, here's some content for you. Here are the 3 best sites that you can go through. They're called Brain.com, ShareThrough.com, and Respond.com to run your native advertising.
Peter, could I just ask you to zoom in on that screenshot there so we can kind of see the numbers that you're doing again?
Sure. Let me break that down there, sorry.
What's really interesting as well, Peter, is you actually have desktop and mobile, but you don't just have mobile, you actually segregate it into iPhone, iPad, Android tablet, and other. So you're obviously dialing in super targeted.
You have to.
Yeah, because obviously, guys, Peter's at a level where he's spending such, large numbers that he has to know exactly what ROI you're getting. So this is the exciting thing, guys. If you basically want to, have the ability to, scale as much as you want, DNA will actually show you how to take it to that level. So, I mean, even if you look there at the top thing, there's 80,000 clicks with 15,000 sales. But look at the conversion rate, guys. 18% conversion rate. That's roughly nearly 1 in 5 people buying. So it's, and the thing is, it all starts out with a if you can get your metrics down, then you can scale up, okay? But if you don't get the foundations right, you're never going to get anywhere. So it's getting the foundations right with the right information that's going to get you places.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, again, I'm going to reinforce this fact and reaffirm this fact that people out there saying, well, mobile doesn't convert or people don't buy a mobile. People are buying mobile all day long. I buy my mobile device all day long. I know Andrew probably does. I know Becker probably does. So, I mean, you have to look at it, like mobile is where it's at. If you're not driving mobile traffic, mobile responsive traffic, not pre-framing and pre-qualifying them and getting them, like, man, your competitors are going to do it, and they're going to push you out of business. It's literally, that's just the way it is. Let me go into Module 3 for you guys here with a little bit more content. The reason why I broke down these slides like this is because I just want to give you two overwhelming big pieces of gold content and gold nuggets, because that's all you really need. If you don't get anything else out of this webinar, you don't want to become a member of DNA Wealth Blueprint, I want to make sure I give you the core fundamentals that will help you take your business from wherever it is to literally like high figures. So Module 3 is, you know, how to go to well over 100K a day spending on all the big websites using PPC. So literally it boils down to two different things. You need to concentrate on one massive niche. You want to drill down deep into that niche, then you want to go wide. So again, here's our example is golf is a big, massive, responsive, lucrative niche. The thing I want to talk about, I want to take a step back, and I want to tell you is you need to be able to go into a niche that spends money. They're rabid. They buy 3 or 4 different products a month. They subscribe to 1 or 2 services a month. Like, you need to go into a massive niche that's spending money, that has disposable income, right? So golf is your massive niche. You drill down, then you go wide. All right, we've gone over this. Next thing you need to do is you want to be able to focus on one traffic source until you can scale it to tens of thousands of dollars per day with one monetization method before you diversify. The thing that screws up a lot of people is they start to test one traffic source, then they dilly-dally with another traffic source, then they dilly-dally with another traffic source, and then another traffic source, and all of a sudden, next thing they know, is they spent 20 grand at the end of the month for a small scale test, and they've got nothing to show for it. They made 600 bucks. And they go, oh my God, paid traffic doesn't work. Well, no, your method didn't work. So that's it in a nutshell. Test one traffic source, get it profitable, get it lucrative, get some positive ROI, then take your best converting stuff, your best ads, your best headlines, your best images, your best placements, go to another traffic source and test small. Fail really fast, fail small with a small budget, get everything tweaked out and dial it up. That's what you do. Let's go into Module 4 of DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0. So I want to show this to you as well. Literally, this one module itself, I think this is another 30, 35-minute module. This one module itself, I've broken this down into a process. As you can see right here, this is the exact process to scale up to $100,000 plus per day. Now, my income claim, once again, you know, you are responsible for your own business. You are the CEO of your own business. You may or may not make a dime, but listen to me and hear me really, really intent when I talk about this. This is tested and this is proven. We've got over 220 students now in DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0 that have gone on to do high 5 figures, 6 figures, and 7 figures with this stuff. This one module itself is broken down to the point where you cannot screw up. You follow it, you're going to do something. You want to test on your own dime, like we talked about before, no problem. Just don't come back to me and say, well, I did what you told me to do, but it didn't work. Well, did you do X, Y, and Z? Well, no, I did W, J, and A. Well, there's your problem. Module 5, and I'm going to take a quick question or two, Alex, because I want to get the crowd a little bit more engaged here.
Oh, yeah.
If they got a question or two, I'll take 1 or 2 questions tonight, and then we got to boogie on, because my Mac is starting to die. No questions? Wow, surprising. Everyone in shock? Okay. I'm going to move on. So Module 5 inside of the course is hardcore insurance money. I put this module inside of here to let people know that If you understand the methodologies and strategies that we teach inside of the course, you can walk into any niche market and you can build out a highly profitable campaign as either a product owner or an affiliate or a broker that wants to broker between a list and a product owner. So just don't think that you have to be an affiliate. This stuff is far from it. You could be a cosmetic surgeon, and you can say to yourself, geez, how do I get another 25 leads to my business a month? This is how you do it. You could be a mechanic. You could have a, 3 or 4 mechanic shops, and you're thinking, well, how can I get more business to my mechanic shop? This is how you do it. So don't think about it as an affiliate standpoint. Think about it as a business owner. Think about whatever business model that you have, it's going to work. I'm in over 140 different niche markets right now, along with my students and my clients. They're in a ton of niche markets. This stuff works. So what happens here is you'll see here, let me explain to you what I wanted to talk to you about. Another big takeaway, again, same thing. If you want to be successful with Facebook and you want to be on their good side, go out and spend the $2, the $5, the $10, get a branded URL. When you're promoting an affiliate offer, don't promote your big, ugly affiliate link. Go out and spend the $2 and get a domain name, or the $5 or the $10 and get a domain name. Get a branded URL. Because what you're going to do is this traffic right here, this ad, once again, it goes to a branded URL. It goes to an actual content-rich product landing page / hybrid blog. Does this work? Absolutely. If you're looking at the image here, you see why it works so well. So again, I cannot stress this enough. Get a branded URL. You are a real business. Show Facebook that you are a real business. Drive them to your blog. I have a 1-800 number here that a call center takes the calls when people are driven to this blog. And they might happen to pick up the phone number and say, are these guys real? Well, there's a call center there that the advertiser set up so that the number that I have right here is tagged to me as the affiliate. So I get credited on the sales. So if they just click on the links and they go through the application process and they fill everything out, I get paid. They pick up the phone and they call the 1-800 number, and the sales rep on the other end, the call center, takes all the information and asks where they get the number from. Well, the number's on the site. That's attributed to me as well. So don't leave yourself hanging. Always make sure you have different types of ways that you can get paid. Now, again, number 1 here, all real social profiles. So Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, blog feed, all real content on those pages. Same thing here, number 3 right here, all these are all links. All these are all blog posts that are good, solid blog posts. Here are some images that you can swipe that are great for the insurance niche. Why do you think these images work so well? They work really well because look at the underlying tone of what's going on. This is why they work. Excuse me. Module 6 inside of DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0 is webinars on autopilot. Now, let me tell you about what's a really highly lucrative niche market for those of you that don't know. Women entrepreneurs spend a boatload of money. If you can target women entrepreneurs inside of your marketing, whether it be on Facebook or email marketing, cost per click, or AdWords, you're going to make a lot of money because female entrepreneurs buy everything and they buy a lot of stuff. So go and target them. Andrew created a whole course around this particular module because I asked him to do a follow-up for this particular module, and it turned into be a beast. And Andrew, you can talk about that for a quick second, and then we're going to continue on. We're going to roll. If Andrew's still there, he might not be there. Okay.
Yep, I think he was having some issue with his mic, so.
Okay, no problem. I'm going to roll on here. So module 7 inside of the course, I know this webinar is getting a little bit long out there. Let me type in the chat, guys, if you still want to listen to the content and hear the content, or you're starting to doze off, you're starting to watch TV better. What's going on with the crowd out there? What are they doing?
Yeah, guys, give me a 3 real quick if you're pumped up. Yeah, a lot of people are, as you can see right here, people are pumped up. You're just blowing them away, dude. Look at all those 3s and all. Yeah, look at all that stuff right there. That's crazy.
Nice, beautiful. Thank you very much.
There you go. That's an explosion. I think there you go.
All right, awesome. So in Module 7, I created this module for a specific reason. A lot of people said, well, I can't run this offer on Facebook. Well, now, here's a big caveat. Take a step back. I don't want you to run this type of an offer on Facebook because this offer is a highly aggressive offer on Facebook and they don't really like it. But I've set it up in such a way that I was able to run it, and I'm still running it. But for the average person, I wouldn't run this particular offer. What I would do is take the method and take the methodologies, take the strategies and the techniques that I reveal in this particular module, which is Gangster, by the way, and go out and apply them to another niche market. That's the best way. If you become a member of DNA Wealth Blueprint, when you watch this module, the best way for you to get an ROI on your investment. Take everything that I teach in here and then go do it in another industry, and you'll just be very happy that you did. Don't try to run credit report on Facebook, okay? Just don't do it. I'm telling you right now, live on the call. But take the methodology and run with the methodology. Everything here works, and you're going to see how detailed I get about this. And then what happens is this ad goes again. Where does it go? Well, it goes to another content-rich product landing page / hybrid blog. The same thing. This is a reoccurring theme that I keep trying to drill into your head. Excuse me. Hey, there's nothing wrong with direct linking. I still direct link. But I do a direct link on a small scale to get some quick test conversions, to see what's going on in the marketplace, to get some intel. Then I'm going to build out my funnel, because at the end of the day, that's what you need to build out. You need to build out a funnel. So understand when you're running your ads, if you want to do a direct link, that's fine. Don't be a lazy affiliate, or don't be a lazy product owner. Build out a funnel. Once you start to see some conversions and you start to get some metrics and some data, you can look at everything. That's what you need to do. Module 8 is competitive data for sniffing out super affiliates. This basically is, if you don't know what the super affiliates are doing, you don't know what your competitors are doing, you're not going to get very far ahead in the world of paid advertising, because you need to understand what your competitors are doing, especially if they're zeroing in on your offers, if they're zeroing in on your product or your service, and they're trying to beat you out and steal your market share. You need to know what their marketing campaign is or their paid media campaign is. This is what I designed this module to teach you and to help you, to show you exactly what it is all about to do this. Module 9 is all about images that convert to run profitable campaigns. It's a short module. Basically, there's two different modes of thought here. Is if you're trying to run number 2 type ads, and you're getting your ads disapproved because you're running a video ad and you fake the play button on it and Facebook bans you, or they said they don't like it, I reveal the way to how to do this. And then this is a number 1. This kind of an ad works like gangbusters on Facebook as well, and paid platforms like display. This is literally all you really need. And you'll know why when you do your proper targeting, why it works so well. Module 10. Now, I put this module in here because a lot of people said, well, I see all the great scaled out campaigns. I see all the big successes, 6 figures, 7 figures. Show me a losing campaign. Show me what a losing campaign looks like. I want to see that too. So due to heavy demand, that's what I did. The Module 10 is the insurance failure case study. I go from start to finish. I go from start to finish. How to do your targeting, how to find a market, how to find out what the market wants, what the market doesn't want, how to build out an ad, how to test the ad, how to walk through a funnel, how to pick out an offer, how to vet the offer out. I go through everything so that you see at the end of the day what it takes to look at and find an offer. For me, well, for the average person, even though this is an insurance failure case study, when you actually watch the video, you're going to see that for the average person, you would be like, oh shit, I wish I could make that much money every day. For me, this was a total loss leader. But for the average person, they'll be like, oh my God, if I could just run this one campaign like this every day, I'd be set. But it's still an insurance, it's still a failure of a case study. I wanted to throw it in there so you see exactly what happens. Module 11 is how to do a profitable mobile media buy. So all this basically is again, I'm going to knock on a piece of wood here. I'm all about mobile. If you're not doing mobile, you're not running mobile offers, you're not building out your business on a mobile platform, if you're a product owner, you're a cosmetic surgeon, you're a cosmetic dentist, you're a mechanic, you're selling widgets, whatever. If you're not running on mobile, you're losing a whole bunch of money. That's just a fact. And I break this down here and I show you how to do a really profitable mobile media buy through mobile. And then the part B to this section is I show you what a CPA process looks like. Now again, this is not a CPA course. I go over everything. This is a direct response psychological internet marketing course where I teach you about internet marketing. I teach you about direct response marketing using paid advertising. And it's not just for affiliates, it's for product owners, it's for vendors, it's for advertisers, it's for affiliates, it's if you're an SEO, it's if you're doing blogging, if you're flipping sites. There's strategies and techniques inside of the course that will help you. And if you just watch one module and get one meat out of one module, then the course is paid for itself, the membership is paid for itself. So enough of me rambling on and on and on and on, because you're probably thinking, well, it may work for you, you're doing whatever, all these big numbers, like, does it work for the average person? Here is how I break this down. I've created a process and a system and a formula that if I can pass it along to the next person and they can implement it and execute it, then I know what I teach works. Now, some people may say it may not work for a lot of people. That's true. But it works for the people that work it. You need to work the system. So here's Stefan here from 0 to 500K. The thing with Andrew and I is we're 100% transparent. I will never put up a testimonial here if you cannot contact a person. That's what separates me from a whole bunch of other people in the marketplace. Just give me a quick second here. I got to take a quick glass of water here because I'm just like.
Yeah, definitely need one. Definitely need one. Your throat must be killing you by this point.
Well, at least he has a nice background there in the background, Alex, Bora Bora.
That's what it actually looks like in my backyard
so
right
guys,
now.
So just while Peter's having a glass of water. Oh.
That's exactly what it looks like.
So let me go through this. Really quickly because I know some of you might be getting tired and whatnot, and I got to go see my little boy. He's been like waiting up for me. So Stefan Vanderberg, this is the guy that we took from 0 to 500K in revenue. And the thing is Andrew and I are all about case study marketers. We're all about, do we have a system that works? Can we give a system to somebody that they can replicate it and put it to action and it works? The answer is 100% yes. Does it work for everybody? It works for the people that work the system. That's how I'm going to answer that question. We've got I think, well over 300 and something students inside of DNA Wealth Blueprint right now. I keep tabs on everybody because I'm in the forum every day, and I'm on Skype every day with all of my DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0 members. And I'm going to tell you right now, over 220 of them out of the 320 or whatever we got in there now are gone on to do 5 figures, 6 figures, and 7 figures a month. Not a year, not 6 months, but a month, every single month solid. This stuff works. So Steven's gone on, and we make sure they're real. So you can go check out him out on YouTube. You can go check him out on Facebook. Ask him any questions that you want. Here's another one of our guys here, Sambo. Here's his Facebook link here. You can go talk to him on Facebook. I'm not sure if he's going to respond to you or not because he's getting inundated with people hammering him. So, but there he is, real. 233 grand in 22 days. This guy is a beast. This guy took modules 4, the process map, to scaling over $100,000 a day, and module 1, and that's when he cracked out 233 grand a day. Now, in his first 22 days. Now, I'm not going to tell you his niche that he's in. He's in a wild niche. Never in a million years would you guess this guy's niche. The only hint I'm going to give you is toddlers and infants. Here's another one of my guys here, Mike Bontempo. He's got his own course. He's turning into an absolute beast. This guy's gone on. I took this guy from 4 figures to 5 figures to 6 figures to well over 7 figures. Now the guy's just crushed it. I actually talk to him now about some lead gen stuff because he's a beast with lead gen. The thing I teach my students is lead gen. If you're not capturing the data, you're not building a list, you might as well not get the course because you just didn't understand why you have to do what you need to do. You need to build a list. Your list is your asset. If everything comes tumbling down, you have that database that you can go take anywhere that you want. Here's another one of our guys here, Joe. When I met Joe, he was plugged up at $5,000 a day. He couldn't spend any more than that with Facebook, and he was like just depressed. So I looked at his process, looked at everything that he was doing, and I got him to over $5,000 a day. He's gone way past this point. I don't even know what his ad spend a day is right now, to be honest with you. It's like he's doing some big daily numbers with his ad spend. So, and he did over 140K in less than 6 weeks. So this stuff works. Here's another one of our students here, Adrian Negletto. Again, you look at his testimonial right here. When he got a hold of the course, his average ROI was 50%, which is pretty good. That's pretty damn good for paid traffic. But he implemented everything that I told him to do, especially in Module 4. He implemented everything, and he was ruthless about it. Doesn't speak any English. He's a kid from Europe. Speaks terrible English. Doesn't know what he's doing. But he listened, took a whole bunch of notes, asked a whole bunch of questions. All his campaigns are over 800% ROI. That's absolutely phenomenal. Here's another one of our guys here. I'm just going to go through this, guys, because it's just proof. I don't have to beat myself on the chest saying that I'm the go-to guy for traffic because it's not about me anymore. It's never been about me for literally over the last year. It's my students. The students got the system, they rock the system, and they're working in the system. That's all that matters. So the big thing that a lot of people get hurt with is when they're trying to do CPA stuff, they don't know how to get accepted to networks. Out of the blue one day, I picked up the phone, I talked to a CPA network, I have no affiliation with them, no relationship with them. At the end of the phone call, I got a higher payout, I got exclusivity on a deal, I got a whole bunch of goodies, and I didn't even drive a click. This phone call represents exactly what you need to do if you're just starting out in CPA or you have a little bit of experience. This phone call represents what you need to do, how you need to do it, what you need to say, and who you need to say it to get accepted to any network 100% of the time, no issues, no problems. It's actually a very funny phone call. And I just did it for shits and giggles because a lot of people were saying, I can't get accepted to CPA network. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Well, now you do. So at the end of the day, Becker and Andrew are going to take over probably in about 2 minutes, and they're going to talk to you about some stuff. Now, we have a course. It's DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0. Those of you may say, well, your course may be a little bit expensive. Our course isn't cheap. The bottom line is you are going to get access to me every day inside of the forum. I am a general inside of the forum, and my name is on the line as well as Andrew's. I take my stuff really seriously. So when you become a member of DNA Wealth Blueprint 2.0, this is why this is why the course is the way it's set up and why it's the price tag the way it is. It's because you get access to me. So regularly to get access to me is 50 grand. 50,000 and a whole bunch of other zeros. If you want, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't mentor people anymore. I don't want to do it. I have my son. You get access to me inside of this forum every single day. And if you notice here, the 3 big red arrows, this is where we're heavily focused on inside of the forum. If you get these 3 areas right, you can write your own paycheck when it comes to paid advertising. So that's it in a nutshell. I have to say you guys have been an awesome group. I'm sorry the webinar took so long. I hope you guys are still hanging on the line and you're still stoked, you're still excited. Becker, Foxy, yeah. I'm going to pass it off to you guys. I'm done. I'm here.
Yep, that's everybody give me an exclamation mark if you enjoyed the content you got. I mean, and literally there's so many things I can take away from this, even though I'm already a member, and apply to stuff I've been doing at SourceWave right now. This is 100% where it's at. This is not some, I don't even know. You know, I see a lot of people launching Facebook courses and all sorts of other courses about advertising and so on and so forth. And they're showing off, you know, maybe like $5,000 in a day, like, you know, $1,000 in a day, $50,000 in a month kind of stuff. This is where it's at. This is the pinnacle. This is the edge. This is, I don't have any more cool words to describe it, but just the stuff you've been shown right here is enough for you to go out there and start making money for your business right now. You know, Andrew, what do you got to add? I think you have,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, this is pretty funny, Becker, because we've just talked about all the Facebook training and everything inside the course, but there's actually more. First, guys, can you see a screen? It says DNA Wealth Blueprint sold out. So just put yes if you can see that screen. Okay, guys, if you go to DNAWealthBlueprint.com, this is what you're going to see because we take on members periodically, and we're very, very selective about the customers we take on board. As you can see, Peter does pretty well in his own business, and I do exactly the same. So we're not like a lot of the internet marketing crowd where they're trying to, you know, peddle products for income generation, because quite honestly, if we never you know, pushed another internet marketing related product, it's not going to make any difference to us really. Okay, so if you go to DNAWealth.com, that's what you're going to see. Now we're going to invite you to get access today, okay? And here's the really cool bit. What Peter has shown you, okay, in this call, that's only DNA 2.0, which is listed below. So you're getting, it says 11 modules, but it's actually more like about 15. Some modules are broken into parts 1 and 2. So all that stuff that Peter covered, you're getting DNA 2.0, which as you can see is at least a $5,000 value. But as well as that, guys, you're also going to get access to DNA 1.0, which is over 20 jam-packed modules. So if you're kind of new to this stuff and you want to learn how to do it, well, DNA 1.0 is going to take you through that. So you can see there, you'll have a master course PDF, you get all the resources, you get to learn how to outsource, and we'll basically take you through module 1 to module 20. So again, guys, that's at least a $3,000 value. Why did I say $3,000? Well, when we released that over a year ago, we sold it for $3,000 each, okay? But it's not done yet, okay? Bonus 2, as Alex kind of introduced me at the start of the call, you can see there, Alex, 40,111 sales. That's in 7 months from one product, guys. That's a single product, and you can see 1.28 million. So, guys, I've been launching products for 14 years now. It doesn't matter if it's ClickBank, JVZoo, it's your own merchant account. When you learn my product launch training methods, you will learn how I do these figures, okay? And you can see one of our products down there, Easy Sketch Pro, which is between myself and my partner, Paul Lynch. That's number 2 on JVZoo of all time. That's number 2 out of every single product, and there is tens of thousands of products in that marketplace. We sit at number 2. So you're going to get 4 modules from me. These modules are very in-depth, guys. They last between 90 minutes to 2 hours each. They're very, very in-depth. But I got more good stuff for you. So bonus number 3 is a private 50-minute call with Com Mirza, whose net worth is somewhere in the region of over $500 million. It kind of goes up like $1 million a day or something stupid. Well, maybe not that quick, but it goes up a lot. And what you're seeing here is a private $5,000 per head workshop that I held in San Diego. And basically, I called Com Mirza. He's my mentor, and he did this as a pure favor to me. I said, look, I'm having a group of guys down that paid me $5,000 each. Would you be able to do a call with them? And he obliged, which was amazing of him. So I literally rang in front of these people, and Com gave, you know, all these guys advice, and they were totally stoked by it and amazed. So guys, that's another absolutely like massive value call. And what Peter was talking about earlier in the call was about webinars. Well, this is what I call the 634K method, and it's how to use webinars to sell properly. And when I mean sell properly, I'm going to give you the full videos. I'm going to give you cut and paste email templates. I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to give you PDFs. I'm literally giving you the whole shebang. So, guys, as you can see, we're really overloading the value here. So, you're getting full access to DNA 2.0. You're getting access to DNA 1.0. You're getting the product launch training by myself. You're getting a private 50-minute call with Colm Mirza. You're getting a 634K method, and if you add up the total value, the real value, guys, that's $12,494, which I actually think is a pretty fair price, because you are getting an absolute, I mean, it's an education. You can stop doing whatever you're doing right now, get on board DNA, okay? But the thing is, guys, we're not going to charge you that $12,494, but I'm trying to convey how real the value is. You won't even have to pay $10,000 for it. We're not going to charge you $5,000, which considering you're getting DNA 1 and DNA 2 and all the training and all the bonuses, $5,000 would still be a steal, okay? $3,000 is the cost for admission to the DNA Wealth Blueprint family. Now, like I said, guys, this is not open to the public at the minute, okay? If you go to DNAWealthBlueprint.com, it won't work. So I'm going to give you a special link in a moment, but I've just got to cover something first. For Alex Becker's customers, they're going to get a $1,000 discount, and that's the first 38 customers. Now, there's been 5 people on the call that have already asked for private buy links, and we sent it over to them, so they bought immediately. So we're down to about 33 customers now, okay? You can get in, okay, for one single payment of $1,997. Now, what are you really getting for that, guys? You're getting, oh my, let's just reiterate that. You're getting all the modules in the blueprint from a guy doing, Peter, $200,000 per day. $200,000 per day, guys. A full education there. You're getting a product launch training from myself. You're getting all the bonuses, and you're also getting forum access. Now, guys, Peter and I are in the forum nearly every day. Peter's actually in it more than me as well. And if you start doing campaigns, you start running traffic, and you get stuck, you can ask in the forum, and we will be there to help you. That's almost a priceless value, guys. The other way to get in is 2 payments of $1,197. It is slightly more expensive because, look, guys, we generally don't charge anything less than $3,000. So, for us to take even 2 payments at $1,197 is really kind of pushing the boat out there. So that's what we're doing. Now, guys, before we do this, we want to actually tell you our refund policy. Now, I'm asking you to please listen very carefully, and please read this carefully. DNA is for serious people only, and you need to understand that paid traffic, so I'm just going to bring this across here, paid traffic is something that you do need to spend money with. So, if you think you're going to get the same info from a $47 ebook or some sort of kind of, half-ass software, it's not the same thing, okay? So if you can't grasp this mindset that you're going to need to spend some money on paid traffic, don't buy, okay? I know that's being harsh, but you have to understand this is for serious people only. And here's our policy, okay? If you do go through the course in its entirety and you feel it's not working out for you, you can set up a Skype call with myself and Peter after 30 days, and we will personally get on the phone with you. We'll help you out and see what your roadblock is, what your problem is. Now, if you can actually show us that you've spent proof, you've spent money in your campaigns, and you've shown us your landing pages, etc., and it's just not working for you, we will refund you, okay? So basically what I'm saying, guys, is basically not using the course and then asking for a refund is not acceptable. That's not going to fly, okay? And if you do decide that, to file a chargeback, we consider that fraud. And honestly, guys, our attorneys will pursue you if you file a chargeback. So we take this very seriously. So honestly, guys, we're laying it on the line here. We're being perfectly honest, okay? I'm being crystal clear about the conditions before you buy. So guys, first of all, what I want you to do is put it in the chat box there. Does everything make sense there? I'm just trying to lay it on the line. Peter and I are serious people, so just put yes in the chat box if all that makes sense. Okay.
Yep, I think people got it. There we go.
Yeah. Honestly, Alex, we are so strict about who we let in, guys, and we've already got 5 people that buy. So I'm going to put up the link in a second, and I think, Alex, you've got something else to say at the end. So what I'll do is
let me show what I got
here for people.
For us real quick. Let me just pull up my little doodad of tricks and gizmos. Let me make myself a zebra presenter. Alex Becker, you are the presenter. Thank you. Okay, let me show my screen. All right, so guys, I also have 2 bonuses. Honestly, I don't think this needs really bonuses in the first place. I'm in this course, and this is really the only paid traffic course I use. And if you can't use paid traffic, you're done. You're not going to be able to scale any business you want. You're not going to be able to go out there. The core of and making money in any business online is being able to get traffic and convert traffic and make the traffic make you money. That's all it comes down to. And you have a person who's making $100,000 a day teaching that